Yo, what's good, guys? Welcome back to another banger. I don't really give a crap at this point. But anyways, we're back with another Warframe Beginner's Guide episode. So last episode, we covered the tutorial, and we got thrown into the game. So, yeah. Right now, we are on Earth. And what you need to do as a beginner is complete complete missions. Alright, if it's flashing blue, you gotta do it. But if it's gray, then that means you don't gotta do it. But if it's like black or something like that, it means it's locked. So you can't do those yet, you have to do the blue ones. So I'm gonna go over every single mission type. Well, not right now, but some of them. So the very first one's an exterminate mission. The next one's also an exterminate mission. And then I think the next one after that, you go to mantle. This one's a capture mission. And let me tell you about nightmare mode. So that's like a nightmare mode is like an alert or something. Is it an alert? Let's check if it is. Yes, it is. So I didn't really explain much of the top right as much, so I'm gonna go over the top right. So right here is your tracked quest. So if you're doing a quest, you track it. Let's exit out of that. These are your boosters. These are your events. So there are events in the games where you can get like exclusive stuff. This event right here, Thermia Fractures, is probably like the most used event. This event happens all the dang time, so yeah, pretty decent event. These are your quests. This little symbol is your alerts. So there's a lot to explain, but I've already told you about the nightmare stuff. Invasions. It's like you help out a faction, defeat another faction. That's pretty much what invasions are. Now, syndicates. So syndicates, you basically pick it and you level up for it, and then doing these missions gets you standing for it. And standing is this little currency right here. Void fissures. We'll be explaining that later on. And then these two right here well, this one's mid game. These are called sorties, so it's like a 3 mission objective, and then after you complete these 3 missions you get one of these rewards. It's on the left side. So yeah, pretty decent rewards. And then Archon hunts, that's in game. It's pretty much the same thing as sorties, but you get an Archon shard. And I think I shouldn't be talking about in-game stuff on the second episode. Right now we just gotta complete missions, make it to the Venus Junction. So I'm gonna go over what an exterminate mission pretty much is. So let's boot up the mission, and I'm gonna be playing on solo. So alrighty, here we go. I'm gonna be using my Ash Prime build. So I have a bunch of pretty good stuff for it. I'm not really gonna explain too much details about it. That's for a different video. But anyways, let's go over an exterminate mission.
There is a large platoon.
All you gotta do is just get kills. So anyways, just follow the red dot, and if you're a super beginner, grab these loot crates. They got stuff in them. Look at that. You can get credits and other items and stuff. See these red, I don't know, use the mini-map as a guidance or something. All you gotta do is get kills. Easy stuff. I'm literally one-shotting everything because I'm using an overpowered build. I don't even have to do much. Hell, I'll just let my companion do the killing. This is pretty freaking easy. All you gotta do is get kills. Fine, I'll hop in. Easy stuff. Oh yeah, don't worry about what that is. I'll explain that in another video. That's probably what I'm gonna be saying all the dang time. Explain another video, explain another video, explain another video. This game has so much crap in it. Alright, there's so much crap in the game to talk about. So yeah, I mean, it's 12 years of content in this game. There's 12 years of content in this game. That's probably why there's so much stuff in here. Right now, I'm just literally trying to explain the basics. So anyways, let's get back to just getting kills. That's all you gotta do. Alright, just one more kill, and... Alrighty.
The enemy is broken.
Now you see that green indicator? That's called an extract. That's where you gotta go to complete the mission. So after you get all the kills, just simply extract. So just follow the green indicator on the screen. And alrighty. We completed the mission. We completed the very first mission.
Excellent work, Tenno.
The second mission is pretty much the exact same thing, so we're not going to do that. But the third mission is going to be a capture mission. So I'm going to show you what a capture mission looks like in the game real quick. Hold on, before we explain the capture mission, yeah, Mantle is the next mission you're supposed to be doing after you complete Marina, which is literally like the next mission after you Prime. They're both exterminate missions. So we're not going to do this one because it's literally the exact same thing. But after you complete Mercury, you'll want to go this path to Mars. And the reason why we're going to Venus, then Mercury, and then we go back to Earth to Mars is because of the quests. See, Mars has different quests, and on the Once Awake quest, you have to complete the Mercury dungeon. You just gotta make it to Mercury. You ain't gotta go through Mercury. So yeah, in order to get to the Mars junction, you have to complete the Mercury junction. So yeah, that's why we're not going up this way just yet. We have to go down here. So the third mission in the game after these two, capture. Alright, let's go ahead and do it real quick. I'll show you what a capture mission is. Capture, pretty much very similar to exterminate. You have to follow a red indicator just like an exterminate. But it's actually a whole lot. This mission is actually the quickest mission in the game. The capture type missions, they're the quickest ones to do. Because all you gotta do is just capture the target. Press whatever button it tells you to press to capture it. And then after that, a green indicator pops up on the map. And then you can finish the game. I mean, not finish the game, finish the mission. So now you just gotta follow the green indicator, and there you go. Alright, speed this bit up. And there we go. Alrighty, that was a capture mission. It's pretty much like the easiest, quickest mission type you can do in the game is capture missions. They're so freaking good if you're trying to speedrun stuff. So yeah, pretty good stuff. Exterminate missions, they're okay. If you're using a Warframe that can get a lot of kills, then exterminate is pretty good. But if you just want to get the mission over with, just do capture. Alright. And then the next mission after that is a mission called Gaia. This is an interception mission, and then the next one is after that's a spy. Interception is kind of it sucks. I'm gonna say that intercept. You have to defend a point. It's like a defending mission. You have to. It's like you have to stay in an area, let it not get captured. Interception missions are best to do it with a group or something, because if you're doing this solo, it's gonna be a little bit tough. But you can if you got no friends to do it with, just simply head to the top left of your screen, alright, and press public, so that way you can go into a random match and hopefully get some people to help you. But for this sakes, I'm going to do it solo. I'll show you what an interception mission looks like. Alright, so we have to defend 4 points. You don't have to defend all 4 of them at once. You can defend at least most of them or half of them. And that's all you gotta do. And then would you looky here, sometimes loot containers carry these little things called Iatan stars. Iatan stars are used to put on Iatan sculptures. Which, great, now I'm talking about more stuff that I'm supposed to talk about in a different video. Alright, let's just do this mission real quick. Alright, we've captured a radio tower, now we gotta capture another one. This is gonna be pretty freaking tough to do solo. So let's just pray.
Captured. Beginning stream decode now.
Well, would you looky here, they're already capturing B. That's what I was afraid of. So yeah, when you're doing this solo, it's actually really goddamn tough because you have to keep an eye on all 4 of these points. And you gotta make sure an enemy does not touch any one of them. This is the easiest interception mission in the game, so it's gonna be a little bit of a breeze. Not many enemies spawn in, but if you're doing this on a higher difficulty, there's gonna be a bunch of enemies spawning in, and it's gonna be a little tough. That's why it's important to do it with a group or with friends. Alright, speed this bit up. As you can see here, we're almost done with the interception mission. And right as soon as I said that, they're already trying to capture point B.
The enemy have taken a tower.
I don't even know where the computer thingy is at.
You cannot allow the enemy to learn.
And then after you get your 10, your blue bar up to 100%, all the rest of the enemies will be marked on the map for you, or they'll be marked in the area for you to kill. So after you're done killing the rest of them, I think that should end. Depends on how many rounds there are, but you can always keep going for more. Defensive type missions, point-based type missions. After this, a screen should pop up whether to stay or to go. So you can choose to stay and get more rewards, or you can leave. So you already got a mod, so that's pretty cool. But if you choose to stay, the enemies will get more difficult. So, higher risk, higher reward, am I right? Alrighty, so we just completed all the way down to Cambria. Now this one's a spy mission, so I recommend you get like a Warframe that. I mean, y'all will either be running Excalibur, Mag, or Volt, so it really doesn't matter. Alright, just get used to the game. But it'll these different types of missions test how, I don't know, what your play style is. So spy missions is all, and capture missions, all about parkour and stuff and like movement. And then point-based missions like interception shows you how many kills you can get or something. So I'll show you what a spy mission looks like. Alright, so as soon as you boot up the spy mission, there will be 3 yellow points on the map. We got A, B, and C. Sometimes there might be more, sometimes there might be less, but there's always going to be at least A, B, and C. So you'll at least want to go to all 3 of them. If you're doing this in a team, I recommend y'all split up to go to each one. But if you're doing this solo, that means you're going to have to go to all 3 of them. So, but if you're doing this with a buddy, one of y'all's gonna have to do 2, and yeah. So, pretty cool stuff. I'm gonna go after A real quick.
You're nearing the console. Trigger the alarms now, and
Alrighty.
they will start destroying the data. You're still in the clear. No detection from enemy sensors. Alarms. Data destruction is imminent. You need to hurry.
Oh yeah, and if you get caught trying to get in, there will be a timer that will pop up. So that sucks. And if you don't make it in time, the data will be failed or something. And you don't want the data to be failed. because in some spy missions, when you fail one of them, you fail the whole thing. So the goal is to not get caught, alright, and to not run out at the timer if you do get caught. So, yeah. Spy missions is like the stealth missions of Warframe. Alright, which one we want to go after next? Let's go after B.
Stay focused. There's a heavy unit
Let's
approaching.
go after B next, because it's the next letter of the alphabet. Okay. And this is the entrance to the spy.
Console is nearby. If you trigger the alarms now, the enemy
And
will
I can't
start destroying data.
use my abilities to go invisible. That's sad. That's what Ash can do. Is that Ash can go invisible. So pretty cool stuff. Alright.
Data extracted. They won't even know.
Boom,
it's gone.
another unidentified item. Pretty cool stuff. Alright, that's 2 out of 3 done. C is the only one left, so let's head on down there real quick. Alright, we made it to C.
The target console is nearby.
Alrighty.
If you trigger the alarms now,
Oh
the
shit,
enemy
this
will
one's
start
confusing.
destroying data.
I always get confused with these rooms. Because it's like you gotta find it or something. Oh, I thought that was it right there. This room is gonna take me a bit to complete, so let's speed this bit up. Made it in. Alrighty, we did it.
Data is still intact.
And after you do all 3 of them, a green indicator will pop up, and you know the drill. You know the drill. Let's speed this bit up. And we did it! That's a spy mission.
Another job well
They're pretty
executed.
stressful to do, but if you're doing this with a team, it's a little easier. So, yeah. Usually when you play Warframe, it's way easier to do this stuff in teams, but it is possible to pull this off in solo mode. But it's going to be a little harder. So, yeah. Pretty cool stuff. Alright, after doing all those quests we did, we'll now be able to access the Venus Junction. So, once you make it to a junction, I've said this last video, once you make it to a junction, you gotta complete the quest it tells you to do. So for the Venus Junction, you gotta complete the Vor's Prize quest. And then the next one after that, it doesn't really matter what order you do them in, you gotta complete them both. Use Fusion to rank up mods. Alright, before we talk about Vor's Prize, we'll talk about mods real fast. So, mods, there's a couple ways you can access your mods. The first way is by going to your mods area, and you'll have all your mods right here. Your arsenal. The second way is to go to your arsenal, click on any of these, and press upgrade. You'll see all your mods for each one's right there. And then the third way is by going to your pause menu, equipment, and then mods. Have access to all your mods. Now, what mods are, is that they're like an upgrade to like your base weapon or your base Warframe.
Your
So,
collection of mods is impressive, operator.
I will take
I
my
wonder if there are
Ash
more to
Prime. As you can see here, we have the base stats right here. So this is what he looks like normal. And then with mods on, it changes the stats. So what a mod is, it's like an upgrade. It's literally like an upgrade to your base Warframe or your base mod. Not base mod, base weapon. So basically what mods do is they make your character stronger and they make your weapon stronger. Their mods are really important in the game. You need mods in order to get to high level stuff. So this is my pistol right here, well, my latum. And then don't worry about this stuff on the right side. This is for another video. But right now we're just talking about mods.
Your chosen Warframe suits you.
So we got mods for base damage, critical damage, critical chance, multi-shot, fire rates. You can even put different elements on it. So there are 4 primary elements in the game, which is fire, toxin, or not fire, heat, toxin, cold, and electricity. Those are the main 4 elements. And if you put 2 of them together, it makes a secondary element. And I believe there's 5 secondary elements in the game. We got radiation, corrosive, magnetic, viral, and gas. I believe that's all of them. I think I might be missing a couple. I'm not too sure. But that's pretty much what you have. Oh yeah, blast. There's 6. Those are your mods. So what the junction tells you to do is to rank up your mods. So I'm going to show you how you can do that. So it really doesn't matter how you get to your mods. Upgrade, and then you press mods, and you're on your mod screen. So yeah, that's the 3 ways you can get to your mods. Since I'm already over here, I'll just go to my mods over here. So in order to upgrade a mod, once you see your mods, now we did play a couple missions, so you should already have a couple mods in your mod stash. So yeah, you should have a couple of them. So let's take, what mod do I want to use? I have so many mods. I have like thousands of mods. Almost 1,000 mods, holy shit. Let's see here, let's take cleanse corpus. There we go, let's use cleanse corpus. So you click on it, click on any mod you want to upgrade. Every single mod has these dots at the very bottom. Those are your ranks. So here they are. We got fusion, transmute. Transmute's a terrible one, so I'll show you what transmute does. I highly recommend you not do transmute. So you have to select 4 random mods, and it gives you, it's basically like gambling. And then we get, I don't know, a rare mod in return. So yeah, that's how you can gamble. Transmute, don't ever transmute. Alright, transmute's terrible. There's a lot of ways in the game to get good mods. Alright. So anyways, I'm gonna take, and if you have duplicates, this screen will pop up saying how many you want to select. Alright. We got fusion, cell, and then we got dissolve. Dissolve gives you endo, which is another currency used to upgrade your mods. Endo is used to upgrade your mods. So yeah. So I'll click on fusion, and then this screen will pop up, and then you can get it to max rank, and then when you rank it up, it'll cost you endo and credits. And you need both of these to level up your mod. That's what I use mainly my credits and my endo for, is upgrade my mods. So, yeah. And then you click apply fusion. Are you sure? Yes. And then there we go. I now have an upgraded mod. I have no idea where it is because I got so many of these mods. But yeah, once a mod is fully upgraded, it should look something like this with you see those the dots now, they're all light blue. That means it's fully upgraded. Alright. You can also upgrade it partially, which means a couple of them will be blue and a couple of them will be gray. But yeah. You do not ever want to sell your mods for credits. Instead, you want to dissolve them for endo, because endo is actually a more scarce resource than credits. So if you have any unwanted mods or any duplicates you don't want, you can always dissolve them for endo. Alright, that's what you gotta do. Always dissolve for endo. Do not ever sell for credits. If you want to sell something for credits, what I recommend you do is you pause your game, you go to equipment, you go to inventory, And then, let's see here. Any random crap that you have, you can just click on a bunch of random stuff, and you can sell it for credits. You can click sell items right here. I'm not really going to do that, because all this stuff is important. But yeah, that's how you can sell stuff for credits. And there's many ways to get credits. You just gotta play the game, and you get credits. For everything you do, you get credits. There is ways to get even more credits in missions, but yeah. So that's how you rank up a mod, and we've already done that, so that should already be marked off on your junction. Now the next thing is to do Vor's Prize. And in order to access your quests, you go to this little area called the Codex right here. I've already showed it to you in the first video. Main quests, Vor's Prize. Now, I can't replay the quest for y'all, so what I recommend you do is just get started on that quest, do the quest, and then, I don't know, come back to the junction. So, if I was to replay the quest, I'd do it for y'all, but y'all gonna have to do that crap on your own, so. Hey, at least it's spoiler free, that's pretty cool. Quests is a little bit spoilers in the game, so. Yeah. Anyways, after you get Vor's Prize done, and then that, we just did the fusion one, you'll now be able to go to the Venus Junction. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. Alright, so if you want to get to other planets in the game, you'll want to do these things called, I already told you what junctions do. If you complete a junction, you'll unlock another planet, which means you'll have access to more stuff. So you can go to the junction without completing this. You won't be able to access the Confront Spectre. You won't be able to confront the Spectre yet. You have to make sure all these have check marks first. So once you do have these checked off, confront the Spectre, and it's like a boss fight pretty much. Easy stuff. I can just one-shot him, check this out. Because it's so damn easy. Now, usually, you'll just be kneeling down, and it'll be pointing at the planet you want to go to, and you'll unlock the planet. So yeah. But if you've already completed the junction, you just defeat them and then go back. There's really no point in doing a junction. I just demonstrated it to y'all. But on your screen, you should have already unlocked the planet. A green extract will not appear. Instead, a cutscene will be playing of you unlocking that planet. Now that we've completed the junction, you will now be able to go to Venus. And I guess that's it for today's video, I guess. So that was episode 2. Episode 3, I'll talk about Venus and all the other crap it has to offer, because once you get to Venus, you'll be able to unlock another Warframe called Rhino, and it's by your first boss fight, which I'll explain that in the next video after I get this one released. Anyways, that about does it for today's guide on Warframe. Like and sub be appreciated. Well, you don't have to do that if you don't want to. It's literally an option. So, go ahead if you want to. But anyways, do that if you want to. Stay tuned for the next Warframe video. Peace out.